So you want to become a reseller and open up a reselling business. Well, there's a few steps that you need to consider first. So let's chat. Hi, my name is Mel and I'm a full-time reseller. Now, I've been reselling for quite a few years, but I've been full-time for just over 2. And so I've learned a lot along the way, and I wanted to share my tips involved in starting a reselling business. So the first thing you should do before starting any business is work out your why. Now, there's lots of reasons why people want a reselling business. My personal why came because I'm a mum with 4 kids and I wanted to work from home and I wanted to be accessible to my kids whenever they needed me. So I wanted to do a job where I was my own boss. You need to decide if you just want to sell some things that are around your house, make a little bit of extra money on things that were just cluttering up your home and you no longer need. Or maybe you want to do this on a regular basis and make it a part-time side hustle because you might be saving for an annual holiday each year. Or maybe you're trying to pay off some credit card debt. Or maybe you're saving for some school fees, or you want to put some braces on your child. Whatever the reason being, you might want to be doing this on a more consistent basis, but doing it amongst having another job that you do full time. And then there's other people like myself who want to make this their full-time job and their full-time income. So make sure you know your why so that it makes you intentional with going forward with your business. If you're side hustling for that holiday, you want to make sure that holiday happens. Now, the next step is you've got to work out what you want to resell, because knowing what you want to sell will help determine the business model that you will have going forward. The good thing about being a reseller is you can sell whatever it is that you want. Do you want to sell clothing, shoes, home decor, sporting goods, books, media, electrical items, vintage? The list is endless. It doesn't really matter what you sell, but it does matter if you like selling that particular item. Now, one of the perks about reselling is that you get to be your own boss, which means you get to make your own rules. So you should be selling things that you enjoy to sell. Don't sell things that you've got no interest in or that you loathe cleaning. Sell things that you like. Sell things that you understand and that you know a lot about. And it's going to make the whole reselling process a lot more fun. Now, the best thing about a reselling business is you don't need a lot of money to start it. However, you do need to know your budget so that you know how much money you've got to invest in inventory as you start, but also that will help determine the type of business model that you might be able to start up and run. Now, if you've only got $100 to start up your business, that's fine. But if you were hoping to sell like bulk and pallet loads to Amazon, then perhaps $100 isn't enough to start up for you, and you might have to save a little bit longer before starting that business. So do you want to sell wholesale and bulk loads? Do you want to sell RA, retail arbitrage? Or do you want to go to the thrift store and the garage sale and be hunting down secondhand items that you can sell for profit? Now, there's also a lot of other costs that come involved when you're setting up a business. It's not always just about the stock that you're buying. There's a lot of storage costs like shelving units, plastic storage tubs, shipping materials, stationery. So why do you want to start this business? How much budget do you have? Where do you plan on buying your stock? And what type of business model do you want for your business? So once you've worked all this out, the next step is to work out what reselling platform that you want to sell on, because there's multiple different reselling platforms and some of them will be better suited to some products than others. Now, if you want to sell bulk and wholesale pallet lots, then you might be better to look at the Amazon market. And if you want to sell vintage, then maybe you should look at Etsy. And if you want to sell more general items, then maybe eBay or Mercari or Depop is the way to go for you. So knowing what you want to sell will help determine the best platform for you. Now, if you are new to reselling, I would highly recommend that you start with just one platform. Learn that one platform and become a little bit of an expert on it before moving on to a secondary platform. It's really important to learn each platform's requirements because each platform is very different. But you need to understand the listing process, the photo requirements. You need to understand the shipping, and you need to know the fees involved in being part of that platform. Now, the biggest tip for new resellers is to just start small, because there's so many resellers in this community that it can be easy to start comparing yourself to others. Now, as they say, comparison is the thief of joy, so don't set yourself up with false expectations. Don't go into this business thinking that if you go and list 100 items in your platform, that you're going to wake up on a Monday and have loads and loads of orders after the weekend to ship out. The worst thing that you can do is try and compete with other resellers who have been doing this for a long time. The only person you need to compete with is yourself. As long as you're being a better reseller than you were the day before, then you're winning. Now, new resellers need to make the time to learn about what is selling. You need to do your own research, because in the early days of reselling, you're going to make mistakes and you're going to buy things that don't actually sell. So this is why I really encourage you to start small and don't go and invest like a stack of money in stuff when you're learning, because you don't actually know if it's going to sell if you've never done any research. It takes time to learn what's going to sell and how fast things sell, and that all comes with experience and knowledge. If you want to know what's selling, go into your platform and look at the completed solds. Research is key and knowledge is key to making money in your early days of reselling. Now, when you are new, I would highly encourage you to start with a spreadsheet so you can track your items and you can learn about the profit margins and learn how much profit you're making from items, so you know whether or not they are worth the time and effort in picking up again the next time. As you become a seasoned reseller, you may not need to track every single item that you're selling to know the profit and loss that you're making. Now, just like with all things business, when you start a new business, a lot of the time you need to invest your profits back into the business, and that's how you will grow. And sometimes it can take a couple of years before you even actually start to make any money, which can be very frustrating. So if you are wanting to grow your business, please do make sure that you invest back into it, because it's the only way that it will grow long term. You don't need any fancy equipment to start reselling. You don't need light setups, you don't need fancy cameras, and you certainly don't need a label printer when you're first starting. Just let your business grow as you grow. Using your phone camera is all that you need. I've been reselling for years and all I use is my iPhone 11 for taking photos. So if you want to create a successful reselling business, the formula is hard work. Please don't think this is a get-rich-quick scheme, because it's absolutely not. I have worked harder in my last couple years of full-time reselling than I have in any other job. You have to put in the hard work and you have to put in the consistency. Now, I personally choose to only sell on the one platform, and that is eBay. So if you'd like to learn more about selling on eBay, then make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I've got plenty of videos with lots of tips for you, and I also share my reselling journey in way of my daily vlogs, so you can see what it's like to be a day in the life of a reseller. If you'd like to learn more about being a full-time reseller, I'll put a video link here now and you can click through and go and have a watch. Thanks!